Hello, beautiful being. Welcome to Inner Dreams and welcome to your reading. I'm so grateful that you're taking time to tune in to see what messages are flowing in from Spirit for you. Ashe. Thank you, Spirit. All right. For this reading, we're going to tune into the characteristics about you, the aspects about yourself, your vibe. What is it about you that is so beautiful, so unique, and that allows you to share your divine energy here on this earth? Whatever gifts you have, whatever character traits, aspects, whatever it is about you that makes you so magnetic, so powerful, and that allows you to share your spiritual gifts here on this earth. Okay, so I'm excited. Also, I am recording this around the time of the full moon in Aries, which peak illumination is going to be on October 6th. So if you are tuning in around that time, we can usually feel the energy about 2 to 3 days prior to peak illumination and 2 to 3 days after. Okay, but a special message was coming through for this particular full moon phase. Aries, we know that that's fiery energy ruled by Mars. This is the god of war type energy. Okay. It also brings a lot more like courage and individuality and success, but I feel like a lot of beings that are into their lower self energy are going to be looking for opportunities to incite anger in people around them. So if you have anybody around you who is karmic in nature, that tries to aggravate you or agitate you, just know that at this time of the full moon in Aries, it is definitely recommended for you to ground yourself and remain in your best vibe. Don't let anybody shift your energy because it's not worth it. But definitely it's something that we could easily fall into as a trap for this full moon. Okay, so we're gonna breathe through it and remain in our peaceful state. Ashe. And if you're not watching this around the time of the full moon, that's just, I think, a good tip for any full moon, particularly this one though for Aries. But emotions are always very intense and highly driven around the time of the full moon, so we want to breathe through it all. Okay, all right, beautiful being. I want to start with this deck to see what's coming through regarding your spiritual gifts or the aspects about you that make you such a powerful spiritual being in this lifetime. Thank you, Spirit. You got confidence. There's something about you where you exude confidence, and it's not just confidence within yourself, it's confidence within your connection with the divine. Okay, so you know that the divine's got your back. I feel like you've been through a lot of experiences that have shown you that there must have been somebody else helping you. It's like you always have known that you walked with something great, something powerful, and that has infused you with that same energy. I feel like you have a very close relationship with spirits, with your ancestors, and with your spirit allies. And this is something that you take great pride in because they walk with you. And that is one reason why you are so confident. You don't have to second guess yourself. It's never this vibe of like, God, if you're out there, like, you know that the divine exists. You have felt the evidence. And I feel like you feel this vibration within your body day in and day out. And it's something that is so real to you. It's not something that anybody has to prove to you because you feel it. You feel it. Also, I see you as like sort of on a spiritual path, not so much religious, because what I usually think of with religion versus spirituality is religion is kind of where you're believing something, but spirituality is where you know it because you experience it, you feel it, you astral travel, you connect with your spirits, and you're not afraid to do that. Okay, also you're very confident in your protection because I just saw 444 on the timer. I'm seeing this winged being here. It looks like an angel. You might have very strong experiences with angels. Okay, there may be a particular archangel that you work with. Archangels Raphael and Michael are specifically coming through here. Okay, Archangel Gabriel as well. You might work with them. Archangel Metatron. All right. I feel like you also work with correspondences, like corresponding colors, corresponding energies, corresponding days. And you strengthen your energy work with correspondences. You might wear certain colors to boost your vibration. If you're feeling down, you might wear yellow. If you want to connect with prosperity, you might put on some gold jewelry or something to get you in that vibe. I feel like you're very magical, and you use physical items to reinforce your mental and your spiritual connection. Okay, what else, Spirit? Yeah, you exude confidence. And what Spirit is bringing through is that even when you don't feel confident, people think you are, because it truly is your natural vibe. Okay, blessings. You naturally attract blessings. You naturally attract them just with your thoughts, with your high vibrations. It's something that naturally comes to you. In fact, if you ever have like a down period where it's like you're feeling sort of like a struggle, or maybe you're experiencing some warfare, you always can rest assured that it's only going to be a short amount of time until you're back at your normal resting space or resting place, however you want to say it, of peace and prosperity, because you constantly attract blessings. Even in those times where you are feeling down, you're still high vibe enough to manifest blessings, because you just naturally have a very high vibration. Also, you have a close connection with the moon. You may or may not have a significant amount of Cancerian energy in your chart, but I see you talking to the moon. I see you going outside and connecting with the stars and with the moon. I see you having quiet conversations with them, and also connecting with the ancestors. What Divine is bringing through is that the stars are a bridge to your ancestors. You may connect with the stars anyway in order to connect with your ancestors. For some of you, that'll be relevant. You also have a close connection with like olden times. I'm looking at her. She looks like someone sort of from old Hollywood. When I look at her in the camera, it looks like that, a little further away. But I see you as you've definitely had a lot of past life experiences, and some of those you definitely recall. You have a significant amount of recall of at least a few of your past lives, and because you're an old soul, you feel this sort of spark or attraction for older periods of time. You might enjoy watching black and white movies. You might feel sort of connected to an older generation or an older time. When you do that, you kind of like escape and you go into these old movie sets, and you sort of feel like you're there because in a way you remember being there in that time. It makes you feel sort of familiar. Okay, it feels familiar to you. All right, one more from this deck, Spirit. You have an immense amount of willpower. In fact, there are people around you who don't understand it. They're like, how? There's something that you've done in either the recent past or in the past few years. It's a drastic change that you made, and people are asking how it is that you've stayed with it. It's a commitment that you made to something. For some of you, it's a creative endeavor. And some people are like, how did you come up with this? How have you stuck with it for so long? Okay? Because they see your discipline, they see your willpower, they see how committed you are. That's also one way that people are seeing your confidence, is through your creative endeavors. Okay? For some of you, it's weight loss or something that you've done to take really great care of yourself, of your body. For some of you, I see that you started a business and you work hard. Like, you do something that requires, it could be physical labor. I see someone having like a cleaning business, and you may have people that work with you or for you, But whatever it is that you do, you maintain like a very consistent schedule, and it requires quite a bit of organization. I'm getting earth energy here, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, okay? But whether that's significant or not, you have a lot of organized energy, and that helps you to have a lot of willpower in your work ethic and also in your self-love, your self-care. You take really good care of yourself. Thank you, Divine. Oh, I want to pull from this archetype deck first. Okay, what else, Spirit? What aspects of this beautiful being allow them to express their divine energy here on this earth in such a beautiful way? Monk Nun. Okay, so you have this dedication to your spiritual journey that is, a lot of people don't understand it, and they don't have to, okay? But it's like, what's coming through is, for a lot of you, you put your spiritual commitment before any sort of love situation. And some people might think that that's bad, but it actually, it gives you balance in everything that you do. Like, a lot of people would say, oh, I have to have this, this, and this, and then I'll worry about spirituality if I have time. For you, your spiritual nature is so inherent for you. It's such a part of who you are that if you were to put love, home, family, or anything else, work, career, before spirituality and before your spiritual commitments, it would all go to hell in a handbasket anyway. So you understand your priorities, okay? So the same dedication that a monk or nun has to their spiritual walk, where they're like, I will never partner with anyone because God is my partner, you have that same type of dedication where you're like, I will always connect with the divine first, because you understand that if you are not fully connected and fully aligned, that there's no way that you can be the lover that you desire to be, the mother or father that you desire to be, sister or brother, friend, whatever it is that you are intending to be. It always starts with your connection to the divine. And that's so beautiful. But it also means that you are truly here on this earth to do something very special and very uniquely close to God, Goddess. This creator energy, it just surges throughout you, and it's in everything that you do. Like, your connection with the divine is in everything that you taste, everything that you smell, everything that you see when you're watching TV or a video. You find divine energy in everything, and that's one reason why you're so grateful, is because you see the good in everything. Now, you detect some bullshit too, okay? But that's very spiritual as well, because that means that you have excellent discernment. And so your ability to see God, Goddess in everything that you experience, and that of course is when you're aligned, right? Because like, you may have gone through phases in your life where you were just so distracted or overwhelmed or burdened. And that's perhaps one reason why you have embarked on this spiritual path, because you saw what that did to you, and you saw how far away that took you from your sense of connection to the universe. And you're like, I'm not going to do that anymore, so I'm always going to put spirit first. So, yeah. Selfless devotion and dedication to spirit. Absolutely, yeah. Ashe! Oh, I love that. What else, Spirit? Fool. Okay, so I'm getting like the Fool energy in the tarot, where you are always willing to take a leap of faith. Fearlessly revealing emotion. Helping people to laugh at absurdity and hypocrisy. And I do feel like there's this sense of humor that you have. You're always able to see the lighter side of life. And that's very beautiful. It speaks to your innocence. It speaks to your, you know what's coming through is like Goku energy. Because I always see him as such a pure heart. I love Goku. But I mean, first of all, he was meant to do what he does because he's a Saiyan, right? But also, when he fights because he loves the art of fighting. It's not because he ever wants to conquer anyone. And so I feel like that's the same thing with you. Like, you are completely in tune with spirit because it's just so natural to you. You're not here to compete with anyone. You would never be a spiritual narcissist because you don't even think about spirituality in a competitive way. You connect with the divine simply to feel complete, to feel one with yourself and one with the divine. But in this sense of innocence and sort of naivete, but really in a positive way, it's like, because you're there in this beautiful full energy, you never take anything too seriously. And if you do, you self-correct. You're like, oh, why am I in this space right now? Let me just chill and ground myself and get back to me, okay? And you're always able to laugh something off if you need to, or sometimes you might cry something out because you are in tune with your emotions. Yeah, fearlessly revealing emotion. You're not afraid of emotion. What's coming through to me is, if you are divine masculine, this may be something that you have released, is a fear of showing emotion, because we know that in society it has not been generally acceptable for, or seen as acceptable for, men to express their sad emotion through tears and through crying. And this was coming to me earlier today because I've got this, I gotta share this with y'all real quick. This Divine Masculine deck is so good. This is so good. If you're working on your masculine energy, okay, which we all have masculine energy, females included. But yeah, I was talking about crying and just not worrying about your gender. So yeah, that may be something that you have really developed with intention. If you are a male, allowing yourself to get more in tune with your broad spectrum of emotions. Even if you cry by yourself, just letting yourself do it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay, and one more from this deck. Thank you, Spirit. Oh, Hedonist. Now this came out in reverse. Okay, so this is what I really feel about this. So hedonism is about indulging in your pleasures, whatever feels good. You know what I mean? Feels good, yeah. What I'm getting is that some of you may have been on a hedonist cruise. I'm just seeing a hedonist cruise, like a big boat in the middle of the ocean, and some interesting things going on that cruise ship. But I feel like you've gone through a transformation. There may have been things that you allowed yourself to indulge in, perhaps to your detriment, okay? To a certain extent, maybe you felt like sometimes you went to a level that was so far that you pushed yourself. Like it didn't feel enjoyable anymore. It felt like maybe you weren't giving yourself the self-love that you desired or that you truly deserved. And so you sort of made some adjustments. You have found for you the level of indulgence or pleasure that is right for you. And I feel like you've made peace with that. There may have, for some of you, there may have been something that you felt was an addiction or something that you depended on to your detriment. But you have learned from that and you have made adjustments so that you always know that whether you're doing something that's pleasing or something that is on your list of responsibilities, whatever you're doing, you know that you're respecting yourself. But I do see that you're able to enjoy life. You're able to enjoy the pleasures of life, whether it's eating good food or enjoying a sexual connection with someone or with yourself, or just enjoying something that feels good to your senses. You have the ability to do that. And that balances your spirituality. You're not like stuffy or stuck up. It's like, even though you're very spiritual, isn't that funny that the Monk Nun card came out, but also the Hedonist card. I feel like that's because of your experience of the entire spectrum. You know? Yeah, you love all of yourselves. And yeah, you're in tune with your sense of pleasure, but not to the point of harming yourself or anyone else. So that requires a lot of balance, actually. Yeah, I feel like you've learned how to balance that out over time. Message in a bottle. So you're able to send messages to people in very creative ways. You might do this through straight up communication. You might do this through, like, you're very good at writing things. You're very good at crafting words. And people wait for your communication. I see people waiting by the phone. Well, we used to say by the phone, right? But they're checking their phone to see if you've communicated with them, because your communication is a delight. And you communicate in a very creative way. It's like for some of you, you have a slightly seductive way of communicating with people. It feels very grounded, very meaningful, but with a hint of sensuality, okay? And it reels people's attention in. So if you write for your divine purpose, if writing or communication is a part of your divine calling, it's like a lot of magnetism that's built into your communication. So when you speak, people listen. When you write, people can't wait to finish whatever it is that you're reading because they just are hanging on for the next word, you know? So it really is a gift of communication, but it's the way that you do it that makes it so interesting and unique. Also, I'm getting that people from around the world will be interested in reading your messages. Okay? Your communication will travel very far to people all around the world, and equally they will love it. It doesn't matter where they are. They're going to love your style. It's the spirituality that you inject into your words. It's the vibration. Serendipity. You have this beautiful way of being content, of experiencing pleasure and delight. I feel like that might go along with that hedonist card, honestly. It's like you lift yourself off the ground with your high vibes. And this is contagious. You do this with other people as well. You're able to lift them up. I'm getting that song, Lord, lift us up where we belong. Yeah, it says where the eagles fly. You elevate people with your words. You elevate people with your vibration. And it's something, you know how like when a person enters the room and it's like, they suck the life out of the room because they're so negative and so down, and you're the complete opposite. You lift it up. And it's not in an annoying way at all, because some people are like, it seems like it's fake or it's forced. No, you're pure. You're pure of heart and you're very real. In fact, that's one reason why there's all this green in the card, because your heart chakra is so balanced and beautiful. And so you bring this sense of exuberance into everything that you do. You actually bring in a sense of excitement to everything. It's like people could just be, I see somebody like sitting in the family room, like there's these people on the sofa, they're just sitting there and kind of, and you come in like, hey y'all, you know, da 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 da, and it just automatically lifts everybody's spirit. And you start to see everybody smiling, but it's for real, because you're for real. Unfinished symphony. There's something that you've started that you're going to finish, but this is a part of your divine calling. There's something that is like, it feels like a project. It's something that you've birthed, because I'm seeing an egg here. It could be a book that you started to write but haven't finished. It could be a song. I feel like some of you really are musically gifted. Divine says you're going to finish it. Make time for it. As long as you make time for it, you will finish it, because you have the drive. You just haven't made the time. Okay, and I love that this is card 10 as well. That signifies that you will complete it. I saw, like, you're going to achieve a lot of success with this, because whatever this is that you have not yet finished, that you are going to finish, a lot of people will want to enjoy it, and they need to. Divine says it's not just about wanting it, it's also about needing to get this out there. People need it. It's going to be very successful. Breathe. You have the ability to meditate and to just breathe through something. I feel like you're very calm and collected when you go through something. Now, you might not feel that, but you have that effect on other people. But I do feel like you're very together and very grounded when there's like a disaster going on. And so you're sort of the grounding force when there's mania all around and people are like, what do I do? You're like, calm, it's gonna be okay. It's like you're reassuring other people that it's gonna be okay before you even know what's going on. But the ability to be able to be that eye in the center of the storm, the eye of the storm, that calm, that's amazing. And if you're up for it, it could be that it's signaling that you're excellent in an area where you would help people who have been through severe trauma or tragedy, because you have such a calming, grounding nature. So I don't know if that's something that you've ever researched or looked into. You might already do something like that, but I do feel like you have that ability to just bring a sense of, look at all that blue. You are the calm. And it doesn't matter what's going on around. It's like you just make everybody feel like it's gonna be okay. I see like a little girl crying, and you're like wiping her tears, and you're just telling her, don't worry, it's gonna be okay. And she's like, okay, you know, you're calming her down. And so what that tells me is that you have the power to calm people's nervous systems, and that is a gift. Oh, that's a gift. And you've got it. You've got it. Yeah, no doubt. You've got that. Okay, thank you, Spirit. What else? What is this beautiful, what gifts is this beautiful being, or what aspects or characteristics? Be open to, you're open to change. You are never so fixated. Okay, I don't know why she's smoking, but okay. Hey. I don't know what that has to do with change, but okay, cool. But you're never so fixed or fixated on something that you can't switch it up and be open to change and to growth. This is one reason why you grow at such an exponential rate. This is another reason why you end up having to leave a lot of people behind you, because you are so flexible and so willing to shed old layers of skin and grow into something new. I feel like sometimes there might be a sense of fear about that, but you move past the fear. You don't let fear stop you, because what I'm getting is that there's nothing that scares you as much as never growing. That's what scares you the most, is not changing, not growing, not evolving. So if fear is there and that's all that stands between you and your next phase, you're moving right through that. You're not letting fear stop you at all. You're definitely receptive to new experiences, because you understand that change leads to growth. If you're not changing, you're not growing. And so you're also comfortable sometimes with being uncomfortable. You're learning that, or you have learned that. You don't let discomfort hold you back. Patience, manifestations are on the way, so you understand that you manifest best when you're patient. I feel like there could have been a time in your life, perhaps when you were younger, where you just wanted things very quickly, very soon, and so timing was much more important to you. And you might feel tempted sometimes even now to feel that way, but you've learned that sometimes it's like that Coldplay song, when you get what you want but not what you need. It's Fix You. That's the song, Fix You. So you're more driven to get what you need than you are to get what you want, because you realize that sometimes what we want is not what we need. It's just what we want in this moment, and that's temporary. So you're willing to wait, and your patience saves you so much drama and heartache and pain, because you end up manifesting things that are truly for you. You're creative. You're so creative. I mean, that came through with Unfinished Symphony. You've already created some things that you've created something, I know, that is going to change the world. It has the potential to change the world. All you have to do is create time to finish it. You're always willing to have fun and to express yourself in new and different ways. I'm getting that Ghost movie where they're working on the pottery, on the clay, whatever it is. It's Demi Moore and Patrick Swayze, yeah, I think. So you're also this isn't just creative in artsy ways, but you're also very creative romantically. You're a wonderful lover. And so people are very drawn to you because they can sense your sensuality. You know, because that movie, it's so sensual. Yeah, you're a very attentive lover, and you're very creative. You're like, these things that Divine is bringing through about you, it doesn't just apply in your spiritual walk, but also with sensuality, which is spiritual as well, right? Okay, because I feel like everything that you do, you allow it to be a spiritual experience, whether it's cooking or creating art or being sensual with another being. Whatever it is that you do, you allow it to be spiritual. You haven't been afraid to sacrifice. I feel like this is something that you have done. Like, you have done something knowing that you might not get a reward from it. But after you went through the sacrifice, you realize that you did get something from it. And so you don't shy away from things that seem hard. You don't shy away from difficult things. Now, if you had the choice, 3223 was on the timer. If you had the choice, you might choose the easier route if you knew that there wasn't going to be any, you know, loss because of that. But you're not afraid to sacrifice, because you know that really great things come from sacrifice. This is one reason why you're able to grow and evolve at such a significant rate. One more from this deck, Spirit. You have the ability to balance your life. You're able to achieve balance and maintain it. You might not feel like this, but that's because you are very humble by nature. You're confident, but you're also very humble by nature. And so Divine is saying that you have an ability to achieve balance and to look at a situation that you're not even familiar with, and you size it up, you observe it, and you use your intuition to let you know what is needed in order to achieve balance. And that's one reason why you are an excellent leader. Okay, if you're ever interested in a leadership position, you'll be excellent with that, because you understand what's needed in a situation. What else, Spirit? You have the power to achieve wealth. You're a magnet for money. Okay? And this is because you have such a powerful imagination. You can just sit back and visualize where it is that you want to be, and you make it fun. You have a very creative imagination, and so you're a powerful manifester. Okay? I want to pull a couple tarot cards. Thank you, Spirit. Show us the spiritual power that this beautiful being has. What characteristics about them allow them to share their divine energy here? Ooh. Okay, you've got the Two of Cups, the Devil, the Six of Pentacles, the Sun. the Six of Swords, and the Ace of Wands. I love these cards because, first of all, this speaks to balance with the Two of Cups, but it also speaks to your ability to connect with other people. You relax people. You don't make them feel anxious. You don't make them feel judged. You draw them in. You make people want more of you. And you don't make them, they just do. You know, but it's just your being, it's your way. You, like, people just want more of you naturally. They want to connect with you. And I feel like a lot of times, you know, people are shy to say this. So there are a lot of people who feel very deeply about you, but they never say anything about it because they do notice your magnetism, and they feel very, like, I'm going to be honest with you, like, a lot of people feel nervous around you, but it's not because you make them feel uncomfortable. It's because they feel your energy, and it's so high vibe. It's like very different from anything they've ever experienced before. And so sometimes some people allow themselves to feel intimidated by your energy, but it's actually very soothing. But the reason why intimidation is coming through is because this is the Two of Cups, and that deals with attraction. So this is not just any sort of other person. This is a person that is highly physically attracted to you. Sometimes they do feel nervous around you, okay? But regardless of whether a person is physically attracted to you or just simply drawn to you, people want to know more about you, and they want to experience your energy. They want to connect with you. Also, what I'm getting is this, with this being Two of Cups, people want to know you. They want to, like, not just talk to you. They want to connect with you. They want to understand you. They want to, like, enter your world. True connection, like, you know, like, how can I do that? Like, isn't there something you can do like that? Like, they really want to come together with you, okay? They want to bond with you. Now with the Devil, that's on a whole other level. A lot of people want to get naughty with you. Like, that Hedonism card came through. So they sense that even though you don't, you don't portray yourself in a sexual way, but somehow you still exude this sensual, sexual energy. But it's always done in a very classy way. And that's what makes people love it even more. Because you never reveal too much, but just enough to intrigue people. Another thing about this is that you're not stuffy. Like, you're in tune with your whole spectrum of dark and light, and you've experienced the whole spectrum, and that's very attractive. Because for a lot of people, there's this, like, forbidden vibe, like, oh, I'm spiritual, so no, that's forbidden. But you realize that everything is truly spiritual. It's just the intention that you do it with and how you go about it that matters. Yeah, and I'll say this very nicely and plainly, but there are some people who would like to be not only in your energy, but sort of like under your control. You know what I mean? Like, they'd like to be, we'll leave it at that. We'll keep it PG. Okay. So we've got Six of Pentacles. Yeah, people naturally want to experience things with you. Like, not just in a sensual way, but there are people who would love to go into business with you. There are some people who sit back and, like, envision what it would be like to go into business with you. There are people who sit back and envision what it would be like to raise a family with you. There are people who sit back and think about what it would be like just to sit across the table from you and talk to you, you know? So people have these visions of what it would be like to do something practical with you, where they're either creating something with you or manifesting something with you. It's like they want the whole journey with you. Okay, it's not just about, oh, what would it be like to marry this person? It's like, literally, what would it be like to live with this person? They want to have meaningful experiences with you, and they think about this. I'm seeing these little, like, windows or whatever as, like, thought bubbles. So they think about you in different situations. in their life, what it would be like to exchange energy with you in all of these different situations. You got the Sun card, so this is the happiest card in the deck. You radiate happiness. You radiate contentment. And you might think sometimes, you might think that you look a little like unhappy or something, and you'll notice that people just kind of like stare at you and you're like, what are you looking at me for? It's because you exude happiness. You exude brightness. And you might not even be smiling, but they pick up on your positive energy. You radiate this vibe, okay? You've got the Six of Swords, so you have the power to always get from one place where you are to a better place. You always have the ability to take the initiative to manifest your way into a better opportunity or a better situation. You're a powerful manifester. You can always move to calmer waters, or if you can't do that, you can make where you are a better place until you can get to calmer waters. Miraculous. And then you've got Ace of Wands. So you're always inspired. You're always inspired to do something with your divine energy. Whether you want to create, 4114 was just on the timer. Lots of mirroring here. You always have the power to create something. Now sometimes it might be something that's sad, something that's driven by sadness, or something that's driven by anger, or something that's driven by desire, or something that's driven by joy. But no matter what vibe you're in, you can always create something. Like sometimes it might be a sad song, or sometimes it might be a poem, or whatever it is. You can always create something with wherever you are in life at that time, because you're driven and you're a creator. Okay, and then I want to use this spiritual, I forget what this deck is called. It's by Maruk. I think, oh, this is a theme. Might be a tease. It's not that you try to tease people, it's just that your magnetism, it always leaves people wanting more. And this is because you don't chase. You never chase. You just flow in your power, in your confidence, and that draws people to you, so you never have to chase people. But for a lot of people, you leave them wanting more, which is why tease came through, but it's not something intentional that you do. For most of you, some of y'all might do it intentionally. Okay, you've got Shaman. So you have the power to travel between realms, from realm to realm to realm to realm. Some of you do this mostly in your dream state, but some of you can just go in a quiet room, close your eyes, and go. Some of you are able to do this while you're waiting in line at the DMV. It just depends on where you were as far as your evolution, your spiritual evolution was concerned, regarding your past lives, when you were born into this life, and also how much effort you've put into, or how much you've allowed yourself to do this. Not necessarily about like some scheduled effort plan or something that you created to practice this, but just simply how much time have you allowed yourself to do this. But you are definitely able to explore different realms, different worlds, and some of you have really given a lot of time to exploring these realms. Some of you just go and you kind of observe them, and some of you have gone in and met people or met beings that are there. You always move beyond fear because you realize that it just stops people from doing what they really need to do. And you've never wanted to be that person that remains stuck because of themselves. It's not like anybody else is holding you back, or even if they are, you know, you can move past the fear of that person, right? You've always realized that. You've always been willing to go to the next phase out of your confidence and your trust in the divine. Your intuition is lit. It is on point. It is undeniable. There are people who have questioned your intuition. These are people who are very logically inclined. They don't respect the heart space. They don't understand it. It's not something that they give any time, energy, effort, or attention to. And so when you say that you know something, they want proof and they want evidence, and it just doesn't work like that. And that's okay. But regardless, you have very strong intuition. It's just that, you know, some people who are more in their swords energy, their thought, analytical energy, they don't understand intuition. And so they end up discrediting people who are mostly intuitive, you know. That's a shame, but it's their loss, because it definitely helps to have intuitive people close by, or that you trust, that you can ask for their opinion, or, you know, and it pays to be intuitive yourself. Like, a lot of people don't tap into their own intuition, but you've always done that because it's just such a huge part of who you are. You're an old soul. You're an old soul. I already talked about that. Was that, did I pull that card? Yeah. So I said that this woman's, like from afar, it kind of looks like she's from old Hollywood. So you're very much in tune with ancient cultures or older time periods, because you are an old soul. You've been around many lifetimes and have chosen to be reborn to evolve and carry on your learning journey from where you left in your previous life. Thank you, Spirit. Ooh, I love this one. This is Kali energy. This is Lord Shiva energy, a demolisher. A lot of people don't understand this energy, but sometimes things have to be torn down in order for something, or for it to be rebuilt in a better, more positive way. This isn't something that, when it's done by a person like you who just has this natural gift, it's not something that's done intentionally. Or if it is done with intention, it's also done with care. Okay? This is not an energy of pure chaos where there's no regard for people and how people feel and all of that. You just come in like a wrecking ball and break shit up. No, that's a taker, and that's a destroyer that has intentions to harm people. You're a demolisher, which is where you have the ability to break something down, maybe by shedding light on it or by speaking truth about it. And so just in shedding light on it, sometimes something that's truly broken but nobody's really looking at it because it's in the shadows, it breaks down because now people know. There's awareness, okay? This is also about being willing to shed an old skin and become new again. What else, Spirit? Knowing. You just have a sense of knowing. And it's like you know with all of your body. It's not just in your mind that you know. You know something because you feel it throughout your body. Or maybe in a particular place in your body. But when you know something, you know it. And that's something that a lot of people can try to put you to the test. Like, well, how do you know? It's just something that has to be respected and understood within you. But it's not necessarily something that can be quantified. I think that's what I'm looking for, quantified. You know, by people who don't value intuition. So if anybody doubts your intuition, you can, if you want to, you can try to explain it. And if they don't respect that, then I would say leave it alone and just do you. Because some people don't want to understand. They just want to test you and kind of make you feel like you're different or weird, or they want to discredit you, you know. A lot of times people with your types of gifts, a lot of people want to discredit gifted beings. You know, it's a waste of their time whether they realize it or not, because you're going to keep doing what you do regardless. You're able to manifest the future by embracing your present and appreciating it and being completely grateful for it. I think I've said that a couple of times in this reading, that you're a powerful manifester, but one way that you do that is by living in the present. I feel like sometimes you might get ahead of yourself, or you might start worrying about something, and then you remind yourself, oh, let me just enjoy this right here. Like that breathe card, you're able to breathe through things and find your peace, and also breathe through things and create peace for other people. This is my empath deck, by the way. Experiencing the reality of change. You do not shy away from change. And it's something that you've become very good at over the years, because you have had to adjust to multiple changes. And so now you handle it like a boss. Okay. You're open to dreams and visions. It's never something that you have shied away from, because it feels like your home, your dream state. Sitting with sorrow. You're not afraid to feel sorrow. That's something that a lot of people push down, but you are in touch and in tune with your sorrow. That may be something that you've intentionally worked on over the years, but you do it phenomenally. Especially if it's something that you used to avoid, okay? That came through before, like with the masculine energy. Like if you are a male and you were told not to cry, that's something that you've begun to embrace more and more. I see somebody in their bedroom crying alone, and I feel like, and he's a male. If this is you, I see you, and it's like you've started to open up much more to the idea of letting out your emotions, even if it's not in front of other people. And that may be because there aren't other people around you that you're comfortable doing that with, but Spirit applauds you, and I applaud you, because your goal has been to release the emotions that you've held inside of you. And so that's a beautiful thing, that you're intentionally giving yourself that space to express yourself and to let those tears out and allow those emotions that have been inside you for so long, letting them out. Okay? Yeah, sitting with sorrow. Okay? Questioning the darkest thoughts. Oh, I like that. I'm never afraid of a dark thought, so I'm with you on that. You know, it never says bad until you, it never sounds bad until you say it out loud. And then other people hear it and they're like, what did you just say? Then you're like, what? Yeah. Exploring dark thoughts, or questioning the darkest thoughts. Because that means that you're willing to embrace and explore your shadows. We can't alienate our shadows. It's a part of us. That's how it becomes a shadow in the first place. Somebody told us that we were bad for feeling this, or that we were bad for thinking that. And then we made it, we put it into the darkest corner of ourselves and said, oh, that's bad, I can't deal with that. So we have to explore those things in a safe way, where we're just figuring ourselves out and giving ourselves grace to be ourselves without harming ourselves or others. Creating personal space. That's exactly what I was talking about. Okay? So allowing space for you to be you. That's something that you're very good at. You might question sometimes, like, how can I give myself freedom in this environment? What is it that I need to be me, here or anywhere else? Yeah. Ashe. Okay, I'm gonna close with a shaman's dream oracle. Let's see what Spirit has for you, or for us, because I love reading these too. Okay, thank you, Spirit. What message do you have for this beautiful being? I was real quick, wasn't it? And it's a beautiful card. Mindful. Groupthink. Card 40. Fours have come through a lot in this reading with the timer. We're at 54, 57 right now. Mindful. All right, let's see what this is saying. Keeping a clear mind, hurtful thoughts, groupthink. The human mind can be so many things: a prison, a latrine, a circus, a temple, a cave. It can be a place of restriction or a place of never-ending expansion. Right now, be careful of where you wander in your mind. The quality of your thoughts is key, as you're in a fertile time for full manifestation. We know that you're a powerful manifester. You want to ensure that the seeds you plant will sprout and flourish into the life you seek to grow. Be mindful not to scatter weeds. It's easy to be influenced by others right now too. Especially in our digital age, it's hard to protect yourself from the energy and the sheer amount of information bombarding you 24/7. If you allow all the fear and uncertainty to pollute your mind and emotions, you will fill yourself up with this negativity and then see more of it in the outer world. So filling yourself up with negativity, it becomes like a mirror. Remember we were seeing mirroring numbers in the timer? It's like you mirror what's inside your mind, and that impacts how you see the world. You see why I love this oracle deck? Stay out of gossip and other forms of groupthink. Okay, I'm glad they say that that's a negative thing, because when I saw groupthink, I don't really use that, so I was like, it doesn't feel positive. So yeah, it's referring to gossip and stuff. For when you cut another person down to their level due to their perceived mistakes or limit them by your envy, you activate lack for yourself. So fill yourself with thoughts of plenty. Imagine your universe unfettered by scarcity and alive with abundant hope and goodness. Be mindful of what your mind is full of and keep the faith. And I know you have great faith because you're willing to take leaps of faith and you trust the divine. Good brings more good. Love, more love. Gratitude, more things to be grateful for. Ashe. Ashe, 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 ashe. I love that. I love that. All right, beautiful being. I hope that you enjoyed this message. I know it was a little different, but I think it's the full moon in Aries. I wanted to try something new with that cardinal energy. It's like, let's do it. So I know I enjoyed it. I hope you did too. I hope this message brought you clarity and comfort and good vibes. And I love you. And I wish you peace, joy, and so many blessings. Take care.